Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over 10 biggest mistakes you're making in MW3 ranked play. Now, this is a list of 10 things that I am guilty of myself, or maybe I see teammates doing in ranked often, and I think that they can be easily improved if you just take note of them. But the first one's going to be not having a good break off. This is especially for hardpoint and control. Especially control, a good break off can really open up the game and get you a quick capture on whichever point you're going for first. But having some type of plan when the round starts to get you that initial hardpoint time or that initial one or two ticks or maybe a full capture control can really set the tone for the game and get you a quick, easy round win. Mistake number 2 is going to be dying on the objective. If you're the person in the hill, especially on something like Skid Row P2, you don't need to be dying on the hill, especially if your teammates are still in good position. Just make sure you're in the time, soaking up all that time. Don't be poking out of it trying to get too many kills or get too crazy unless you're just slamming the other team or something. But several times I've seen people where you have a good setup and then your one guy in the hill dies, and now guess what? You're getting no time. You might still have map control, but now somebody's got to give up a lane to back up and get that time, and it can often just cause your setup to fully break down. So make sure if you're in the objective, just focus on staying alive in the objective. As long as your team is doing their jobs, you should be just fine. Third mistake is going to be not prioritizing power positions. Power positions are places on the map that you can go to that are going to give you a big advantage. They can be a head glitch, they could be just a good off angle, anything like that that's going to give you a big powerful position to catch your opponents off guard or cause them to not be able to hit their shots very well if it's a really nasty head glitch or something like that. Make sure you're prioritizing utilizing those as much as you can, because it's going to really frustrate your opponents and give you, of course, advantage in gunfights and allow you to get more kills and help your team out a lot. Mistake number 4 kind of ties in with that last one. This is going to be learn your opponent's habits or try to pick up on them throughout the game. For instance, I was playing high-rise control the other day, and there was a guy that just kept going top helicopter every single life, and he was spawn trapping us and it was working. I think we lost that game, but we definitely lost one round solely because he kept going top helicopter every single time, laying down prone, and he was just farming us as we were trying to jump out of that window. So once we started prioritizing him in the next round and actually killing him off of that spot over and over again as he kept trying to go back and picking up on that habit that he had because it was obviously working for him, we were able to kind of turn at least that round around and not die to that one thing anymore. So try to pick up on your opponent's habits if they're doing something like that, especially at the lower ranks. People don't even think. They'll just flank every single round, or they'll just go to the same spot every single round, or they'll throw the same stun every single round. So make sure you just pick up on those habits if you can and try to take advantage of those, because that can help win you rounds and matches and things like that. Mistake number 5 is not securing the rotation or the spawns. This is mostly for hardpoint, of course. This is something I need to get better at. I've been rotating, but I don't secure the spawns. I seem to always get shot in the back or killed on the way to the favorable spawns. But make sure you're locking down those favorable spawns for your team on rotation if you can. But of course, you want to make sure you're rotating first of all. But if you can get the kills at new as the new hill's popping and secure those close spawns, depending on what map it is and what the situation is, those are usually the spawns you're going to want. But prioritizing that can really help you secure more hardpoint time, get into a good setup, and ultimately win more games, which is something I haven't been doing very often. I've been losing a lot, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. Mistake number 6 is playing solo too much, or not playing with your teammates, not trading, things like that. Of course, it's always good to go on a pinch by yourself or try to flank by yourself, or make a solo play when it's necessary, or just randomly at times. But overall, it's a team game. You want to be playing with your teammates and getting trades. Getting trades is a huge part of the game. If you don't know what a trade is, just imagine you're on a 1v2. You kill one person, but then their teammate, the second guy, kills you. Guess what? There's nobody there to trade you. If it's a 2v2 and you kill the first guy, the other guy kills you, and you have a teammate that kills the other guy, guess who's left? Your teammate. So in that scenario, you won the trade, and whoever your teammate is ideally, in this scenario, we'll imagine he's on the hard point. So he gets that trade, wins that trade, and he's going to win that scrap time or that initial hardpoint time, whatever the case may be. So make sure you're trading your teammates, playing with your teammates, and don't play solo too much unless, like I said, you really need to go on a pinch or make a play or something like that. Mistake number 7 I see people doing is not using the minimap enough. I think this is something I need to do more of than I do, since red dots when people shoot are back in the game this year, as they weren't last year, but they are this year. So when people shoot, when you hear a shot, look at your minimap. You're gonna see them on the map. If somebody just killed your teammate, look at your mini map. You're going to be able to see with pretty good precision usually where that opponent actually is on the mini map, and then you can, you know, make a play based off of that. But make sure you're utilizing that mini map not only to see where opponents are, but also where your teammates are playing and which direction their arrow is looking or pointed, because that's going to show you where they're looking at and where you might not need to watch, so that you can pick up, you know, whatever's not being watched. Mistake number 8 I see people make all the time on search and destroy in specific is whenever you're playing on defense, and maybe even you got a first blood and you have numbers, it's a 3v4. People just love, especially on terminal, but other maps as well, people just love to push on defense, and I hate it. If you have a good setup, if you have control of the bomb sites and they can't plant, and you're in good position, just hold it. Once in a while, flanking is a great play, don't get me wrong, but too often I see people they get one kill and they think, oh, I'm just gonna go, you know, try to get more, and they just, you know, run up terminal, and next thing you know, they're dead, and it's a 3v3, and we've given up position somewhere on the map. So just make sure on defense you're playing the objective, because it's going to cost you rounds if you do get picked off trying to flank every single round. Like I said, it's good to do once in a while, but make sure you're not doing it too often, and make sure you're doing it at good times. For instance, if you are using your minimap, like the last tip I was just talking about, or last big mistake, if you see people on the minimap, like it's a 1v2, because your teammate just died on B-bomb, and you see that both red dots were over at B-bomb, then yeah, you can do a fast pinch, but just do it smart, and I don't advise doing it at the beginning of the round too often. Mistake number 9 I see people making a lot in this game, but it didn't seem as bad in MW2, but for some reason in this game people do not like to stack the point and control as often as I'd like to see. Too many times I've seen people get like 3 pieces, and then they don't even like stack the point on invasion or whatever the map may be, and actually cap it quicker. But of course, as many of you probably know, the more people you have on the objective in control, it's going to capture much faster. 3 people is very fast. If you have 4 people on the objective at the same time, it's going to capture so fast. It's going to at least put so much pressure on the other team to have to sprint at you that they're going to be easy kills, or you're just going to end up capturing it before they can even get there. So especially if you get 3 down or 4 down in particular, make sure you just hop in that control point and capture it as quickly as you can, because you want to take advantage of those kills in control when you can, because control could be a very difficult and frustrating game mode. So make sure you're capturing the points when you do get kills. Mistake number 10, this is something I've been really guilty of the last few days, and it's going to be losing composure, blaming teammates constantly. Don't get me wrong, there's a place for it, it's going to happen. There's bad teammates, all that's true, but at the same time you got to lock in, you got to try to improve your game with these tips, and overall just try to improve your own game, because at the end of the day you can only control yourself and maybe your teammates if you play with people. But if you're playing solo queue especially, you're gonna have bad teammates, you're gonna want to blame teammates a lot, but you got to keep a strong mental, and that's something I've been not doing a very good job with. But I've been losing full. Anyways, the less you can lose full composure, the better you're going to do, the easier it's going to be to improve. So that's the final mistake, is just blaming teammates. Hopefully these tips and tricks or mistakes or whatever you want to call them help you out. I really thought through some of these, and these are things that, like I said, I've experienced myself, or I'm guilty of myself, but I've also seen in game a lot as I've been playing a lot of ranked play for the past week. But anyways, thanks for watching. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.